Hiya guys, Talon here, and this crazy lizard is surfing on a wave. Woot woot. Yes, Hawaiian roller coaster style. So, yeah. This is the Noteblock tutorial for the Hawaiian roller coaster ride. So, yes, it should be sounding like this. Or, well, this part of the song at least. Flying high on a Hawaiian roller coaster ride. I hope that's the lyrics. That may not be it. Might be flying by. I don't know. Hearing impaired here. Don't mind me. Um, yes. So, with each of the numbers you see on here, just like every other tutorial I've been doing, placing it down equals 0. That means no hits, and the number you see on there is how many times you have to hit the note with the, well, right click on the note, or the repeater. Like that was 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah. So, let's get this tutorial underway. So, because there are more hits than what we had over on Bell or on Try Everything, I have code names for each of the things that I use. So the redstones, of course, is a repeater, that's pretty self-explanatory. Wood is bass because that's what it sounds like. It sounds like one of those big string basses that might be plucked. Harmonies and melodies which are more like the actual note block things itself, will be on wool. Bass drum appears on the granite or any stone block, so that'll be drum. And sand makes a snare drum sound, so I'll be saying snare for that. So to start things off, we have 6 on bass, with 6, 10, and 13 on wool, and 1 with 1 on drum. Then we have 2 on the next repeater and 1 on the repeater after that. These two are together. It could easily be 4 on one repeater and 0 on the other. I have 3 and 2 because that helps with the sequence of how the song goes. It helped me a lot in putting it together by just keeping it like that. So after those two repeaters, we have 13 on bass, and then 0 on the next repeater. Then it is 10 on bass with 1 and 13 on wool, 1 on drum with 13 on snare. Those are all in the same hit. Then we have 2 on the next repeater, 13 on bass with 1 and 13 on wool, 2 on the next repeater, 1 on drum with 1 and 13 on wool, 2 on the next repeater, 1 and 13 on wool, 1 on the next repeater, 13 on bass, 0 on the next repeater. Then we have 10 with 10 on bass with 3, 15, and 15 on wool, with 1 on drum and 13 on snare. Then it's 2 on the next repeater. And then we have 13 on bass with 6, 13, and 13 on wool. And I'm going to break up the song there. So what you have so far should sound like this. And there you go. So after that, it is then 2 on the next repeater. I will say this. I've been mostly keeping the drum and snare onto one side to keep it a little bit more easier to read. But I decided to put this segment on the drum and snare side because otherwise it would blend in with these hits over here, and it would be a little more confusing to read, so I decided to put it on this side. But yes, so as I said, 2 on that repeater. So after that 2 repeater, you then have to hit 5 on bass with 8, 11, and 16 on wool, as well as 1 on drum with 4, 8, and 11 on wool. Some of the numbers do double up, but that's an important part of the song. So, 2 on the next repeater, 8, 11, and 15 on wool, 1 on the next repeater, 11 on bass, 0 on the next repeater, and yes, I extended this little redstone part so that it didn't run into each other as much. So there's a little bit of a gap, so it makes it easier to read. I did that further up too. So yes, this is 8 on bass with 8, 11, and 13 on wool, with 1 on drum and 13 on snare. 2 on the next repeater, and then we have 11 on bass with 8 and 11 and 11 on wool, 2 on the next repeater, 1 on drum with 4, 8, and 11 on wool, 2 on the next repeater, 1 on the another repeater right after that, 11 on wool, or that's not wool, that's bass. 11 on bass, 0 on the next repeater, and then 8 on bass with 4, 8, and 15 on wool, with 1 on drum and 13 on snare. 2 on the next repeater, 11 on bass with 11 and 11 on wool, 2 on the next repeater, 11 on bass with 3, 6, and 11 on wool, and 1 on drum. And that should be your song, so now it should sound exactly like this. Hawaiian roller coaster ride. Sorry, I just had to sing in there. But yes, that is Hawaiian Roller Coaster Ride as a doorbell tutorial. So I hope you guys found that enjoyable, and you can feel free to try that out on your own. Next up will be Let It Go, shortly followed by Moana's How Far I'll Go. And I know a lot of people have been asking for that one, still. So it'll happen, it'll happen. I just want to make sure some of my other Noteblocks stuff gets doesn't quite get buried there, cause it's Disney. I love all of these songs. So yes, I believe that's everything I have for you for this video. So yeah, see you in the next one. Lizard out.